Welcome back to A History of the Navy in 100 Objects. On this episode, we take a trip over to Special Collections and Archives in Nimitz Library to hear from Dr. Jennifer Bryan about a little-known period in U.S. Navy history.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Bryan, Head of Special Collections and Archives and Archivist at the U.S. Naval Academy. And we're in Special Collections and Archives today, looking at the papers of Charles Stephenson, who was in the U.S. Navy Medical Corps, and from 1927 to 1929 served as the brigade surgeon for the 3rd U.S. Marine Expeditionary Force in China.
Stephenson was deployed with the Marines in response to the events during the Chinese nationalists' Northern Offensive of 1926 to 1928. He was stationed in Tianjin, today known as Tianjin. Major General Smedley Butler, United States Marine Corps, was the commanding officer of his brigade. American diplomatic and business interests were concerned that the nationalists would push the country into anarchy. In an effort to protect American interests, most countries with a stake in China sent in troops. His brigade, in particular, was tasked with protecting lines of communication between Tianjin and Peking, the capital, in the event that the capital was threatened. It was possible that an evacuation of all Americans would be called if the situation deteriorated.
So you see laid out on the table just a few of the letters and newspapers that he collected while he was engaged in service in China. He was critical of General Smedley Butler. He talked about the unsanitary conditions in China in his letters. And you'll notice that for some reason he was clipping newspapers and sending those back home. So you see the envelopes on the tables with the Chinese postmarks and also the stamps. And of course the papers are interesting because this one is the China Press, written in English, so obviously for English-speaking people in China. And here we have the Peking and Tianjin Times, I've probably pronounced that incorrectly, for Wednesday, November 2nd, 1927, and you can see his notes in pencil written across the top. So we have quite a number of letters in this collection and newspapers from someone, again, who was in the Medical Corps serving with the Marine Expeditionary Force in China. Stephenson was born in Tennessee in 1887 and had entered the Navy in 1913 as a lieutenant in the Medical Reserve Corps, and so he received his training at the Naval Hospital in Naval Medical School and the Naval Hospital in Brooklyn. And so as we said, in the 20s he was serving with the Marine Expeditionary Force. He died in 1965, so he also served during World War II.
It is an era of U.S. Navy history that many don't know about, but it was a profoundly consequential period in Chinese history, known to the Chinese as the Century of Humiliation, that eventually led to the founding of the People's Republic of China under Communist Party rule. Thanks for joining us today on the podcast, and tune in next time to brush up on more of your Navy history.